Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Callie, and today I'm going to be going through some of the books that I'm going to be bringing to be signed for my first Apollycon. So Sarah and I were able to snag tickets to this year's Apollycon, which is the first year in the past 2 years, I believe, that they've put it on since COVID started. I remember the 2021 got postponed because it was around March or April, I believe, and canceled in the long run. And I know that that is where initially JLA was going to secretly drop from Blood and Ash. And she ended up still kind of secretly dropping it around that time, but I think it was going to be a lot more climactic than it ended up being. But Apollycon is a convention run by Jennifer Alarmentrout, who is a fantasy romance author, and it is in a big book convention for romance readers. And I have recently delved into the world of romance and loving every second of it. So I've been slowly preparing for this. On the website, they have all the authors that are going to be there. The pre-orders just went up and I've put in my pre-orders. So I figured this would be a fun setup video for Apollycon, which happens in July of this year in DC. And what books so far that I have collected that I plan on bringing. Now, one of the rules with the signing lines is you can only have 3 at a time, but you can go back in the line as many times as you want. So Sarah and I are going to try and use each other as we go. So if there are authors that I really like and have more than 3 books, she can have my other 3. And if there are authors she really likes and that kind of thing. Otherwise, we do have a lot of authors in common that we want signed. So we're just both really excited. This is our first book convention. We do plan on vlogging the entire thing from car ride to O'Hare and then all the way back home from DC. So we're both really excited, and without further ado, I'm gonna get into some of the books that I have. This is in no particular order. This is just what I have on my shelves. The first one that I have is Laura Thalassa. Laura Thalassa, I've had Rhapsodic on my shelves for a while, and the push to get me to read this book was the fact that she was announced at Apollycon, and I fell in love with Rhapsodic. So naturally, I have the first book in her Four Dead Horsemen, not Four Dead Horsemen, I think it's Four Horsemen, just Four Horsemen series. I ended up pre-ordering the other 3 for Apollycon. So I will have those 3 signed and personalized when I get there, because those ones don't count towards your 3 books. So I'll be bringing the entire Rhapsodic trilogy as well as Pestilence to get signed. And any others that I find. I think these are her 2 big ones. I saw she did drop a book on Valentine's Day. I've been debating on looking into it. I just have so many books that I want to get to that I don't know if maybe I should I think, what is this, 3, 4... I have 7 books already, so maybe that's enough for, I don't know what is enough, if I'm being honest. Up next, I have Scarlett Sinclair. She is the author of the Touch of Darkness series, as well as King of Battle and Blood. I've read all the books that are out for A Touch of Darkness, including the Game of Companion series. I actually have A Game of Retribution coming in the mail this week. I ended up pre-ordering that one from Barnes & Noble a while ago. But this is one of my favorite Hades and Persephone retellings, and I do hope to read King of Battle and Blood before Apollycon. I've heard really good things about this series. It's supposed to be vampires, fated mates, all the tropes that I love. And I really like her writing style. It is very fast-paced, and it is a lot of fun. And she writes her steamy scenes really well. So I'm excited to jump into this book. And that is the goal that I have, is to have all these books that I have wanting to get signed, to have read them. Because one of the things that I've noticed is when you're in line to get stuff signed by authors, as they're signing your books, you want to be able to talk to them. And not having read their books while they're signing your books feels a little weird to me. Like, I understand if you've had it for a while and everything, but I just feel like having that conversation, that being able to ask them questions on how they set things up, why they made choices, I feel like that's a good experience for them, as well as really rewarding for me as a reader. But that's just me. Do with that what you will. Up next, I have Danielle L Jensen, and I have the Dark Shores trilogy as well as Bridge Kingdom, which I own a copy of it. I don't know where it is in my office right now. It's around, but that one's the one that I've heard more things about than Dark Shores. But I read Dark Shores right when it came out because it was supposed to be this really cool piratey adventure, and that is exactly what it delivered. So I have not read the sequels, and this one isn't done. And weirdly enough with Dark Shores, and I think Dark Skies, and what's the third one? Gilded Serpent. They're all traditionally published, but then the series was dropped. But Danielle Jensen started off as an independently published author, so she will be independently publishing the final book in this quartet. I really liked it. I'm excited to continue with this series. I'm debating on with the series to wait until the 4th book's out so I can binge it and then read all the Bridge Kingdom. None of her series are complete, by the way, so I'm still debating on this one, but I did really like this, and I want to get the other one signed as well. Up next, I have Raven Kennedy, and I have the Guild series. And I found the Guild series through TikTok, naturally. I found a good amount of these through TikTok, if I'm being honest. And this is a retelling of the King Midas story. And we have our girl, Orin, who is made of gold and is King Midas's pet, essentially. And I fell so hard into this series. Glow just got pushed. I think that was announced earlier this week. And I'm a little sad. I'll definitely have Glow by the time Apollycon comes. I think it just got pushed to June, opposed to, I think it was supposed to drop earlier this week or next week. So either way, I will have a copy of it, and I have the other 3 books. So I adore Guild, and Raven Kennedy is now a new favorite romance author, especially fantasy romance. She did a really good job at creating this really vibrant world filled with political turmoil, war. The magic is really cool. The fae are really cool. I loved everything about this book. Like, you hate some of these characters so viscerally. I think about how much I hate Midas on almost a daily basis, and that's how gripping her stories and her character developments are, and I absolutely adore it. The next author I have is an obvious one, and that's Jennifer Alarmentrout. So I have From Blood and Ash. Now, with JLA, I am probably not going to bring all of my JLA books because I have way more than 3. I have all of the From Blood and Ash, but, well, I don't have A War of Two Queens yet, because I pre-ordered the hard copy, and they haven't shipped yet. I know they're supposed to ship in May, so I don't know when this month it's supposed to ship, but I'll have all the hardcovers of that one. I also have A Shadow in the Ember. I have the first 3 books in the Darkest Star series, as well as the first book in the Storm and Fury series. So I have a lot of JLA. My thought is when you go to author signings and everything, especially if it is a bigger event, what I've noticed is they will let you personalize 1 or 2 books. I always pick the first book in a series because that's the book that got me into the world. I don't know. That's just kind of how I've always done it. So I will probably end up bringing From Blood and Ash, A Shadow in the Ember, and then The Darkest Star, because those are the 3 series that I have read. I have not gotten to the Storm and Fury series yet, so I'm waiting to jump into that one. But those are the 3 I think I may end up bringing. The next author I have is Tessa Bailey. Tessa Bailey is one of my favorite romance authors. Her romances are really fun. They are very distinct. They are steamy. They're also really thought-provoking with the characters. The characters aren't just your typical just sassy girl and guy who just needs a girl to get him out of a funk. They all have distinct characterizations, and I love that. My 2 favorites are definitely the It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. But I do have the entire, currently Sarah has book 1, Hot and Hammered series. And I also pre-ordered My Killer Vacation for the con. So I have that as well with these books. I'm really excited. I love her books. They're just so much fun. They're really fast-paced. They scratch that contemporary romance itch without being too corny. And I think that's why I love her so much. Her and Helena Hunting. And recently, Helen Huang, who is not going to be at the con, but Helena Hunting would. She's later on in this list. So they're just, her writing just scratches an itch, and I love it. I am here. She is an auto-buy author for me in romance, for sure. Up next, I have Elise Kova. Currently, I only own 2 books of hers, which is Deal with the Elf King and A Dance with the Fae Prince. These are actually the 2 books that got me into Elise Kova. I saw her books going around on TikTok, so naturally I was drawn to it. Fantasy romance with fated fae. That's a mouthful and a little bit of a tongue twister. Naturally, I was intrigued, and I fell in love with her writing style. Her writing style is very fast-paced, but not to the point of where it's hard to keep up. And I absolutely adore it. I adored A Dance with the Fae Prince. I think I liked this one the most of these 2 books so far. I know that we have a deal with it might be not the deal. Duel? I think it's Duel. The Duel with the Vampire Lord, I think, is the next one. I'm hoping there'll be arcs of that one at the con because it drops in August and the con is the last weekend of July. But I have recently been obsessed with her Air Awakens series now. I have this on my Kindle, and I've been literally this weekend. I'm filming this on a Sunday for this video to go up on Tuesday. I finished book 1 on Friday, and it is Sunday. It is Sunday, and I am on book 5. I am obsessed with this series. I read it. I've been just binging the entire series. I will be buying the box set beforehand because I need all of these books in my life. I am obsessed with this world. It is an Avatar: The Last Airbender type world with that elemental magic, along with our main character who is a librarian who finds out that she's an airbender, essentially. It's such a good, I'm obsessed with it. I'll probably talk about it later because I've given, I think, 3 out of the 4 books I've read 5 stars. I'm obsessed with it. I've been texting Sarah about it all weekend. I'm sure she's getting real sick and tired of my shit. Especially because I texted her last night. I finished book 3 last night. I texted her at like 1 a.m. being like, I saw this thing. I saw it coming. Because it's a really good trope, and I love this trope. I saw it coming, and I was seething when it was revealed, and So Elise Kova is a new favorite. I will definitely be reading The Trial of Sorcerers after I finish the Air Awaken series, because that is a companion afterwards, which I learned the hard way. I started A Trial of Sorcerers. It's just her newer series. I started it and I got to the first chapter and I realized that it happens about 20 years after the events of the Air Awakens. So I only got through like half a chapter before I realized it, and I stopped immediately and got the Air Awakens series so that I wouldn't be spoiled. But yeah, so I'll definitely be jumping into that series, which that one's not complete yet. That one has 2 books. I think it's Trial of Sorcerers and Hunt of Shadows. I'm putting them up here. You can see the titles. I don't remember them all by heart. But I will definitely be probably pre-ordering those 2 for the con, and then getting the box set for Air Awakens. So yeah, I'll have a lot of Elise Kova because I'm obsessed. Up next, I have Wendy Higgins, and this is The Great Hunt. I saw her name, and I've had this book and its sequel, The Great Pursuit, on my TBRs for a while now. And I've been meaning to get to it. I actually have this on my docket for June. I believe I have this on my docket for June to read. And this is supposed to be a brave retelling. So hopefully I'll get to this and its sequel by the time the con happens, but we'll see. Next, I have Ali Hazelwood. When I saw her on the list, I was so excited because I think she was a later addition. She wasn't originally on this list. And so naturally, I'm going to be bringing The Love Hypothesis, which, if you've been on the channel the last month, I have been obsessed with this. And I've read all of the audiobooks of the Women in STEM novellas, and I'm also obsessed. I'm hoping there will be arcs of Love on the Brain at the con, because that is her new book that drops in August. And I am just obsessed with these books. They're nerdy, they are fun, they are steamy, they're just, chef's kiss, one of my favorite things in the last couple of months. Next, I have Anna Bright, who is the author of The Beholder and The Boundless. I actually just read The Beholder, which is a Cinderella-esque story where this girl is sent on this trip where she has to come back to her village engaged. And she's bouncing from country to country, meeting all these suitors. And I really like her. She's this kind of quiet gardener kind of character. And she's trying to do what she thinks is best for her country. and that's getting engaged. This is very like The Bachelorette in a fantasy setting. There's no magic or anything. It's mainly court and political intrigue, which is fine. But I really enjoyed this. I'm reading The Boundless later this month. This is only a duology. I haven't read any of Anna Bright's. I actually have not looked at her backlog yet, but I probably will once I finish this duology. But this was just a fun ride. I had a great time reading it. It was cute. It was fast-paced. Our main character is just spunky enough where she's not agitating. I love that she has her own hobby in gardening. I love it when characters have their own hobby. It makes them feel more realistic as a character and I feel like it always helps them develop in some fashion. And then for the books that I actually have on my shelves, the last author I have is Helena Hunting. I have a lot of Helena Hunting. Helena Hunting is actually what introduced me into the contemporary romance genre because Brittany bullied me a little into reading Good Luck Charm, and I have not looked back. I actually just ended up getting Starry-Eyed Love over the weekend because this just dropped or is dropping in the next week. So I now have these books to get signed by Helena Hunting. I love her writing. It's very much like Tessa Bailey. The contemporary romance, it scratches an itch. It's the characters always have this like flaw, but it's not a fixable flaw. And I love that because you have to watch these characters figure out what is healthiest and best for them as a person, not necessarily as a relationship. And I really appreciate that in all these books. Now, I have a couple others on my list of books to read. The next author, after I finish the Air Awakens series that I want to read, is Aubrey Gray, which is Oathbreaker, I think is what it is. I have it on my Kindle library, and that one's next to get to read to see if I want to get any of her books to bring to the con. Other than that, I have also already pre-ordered Forging Silver into Stars by Bridget Kemmer. I don't have any of her books on here because Bridget Kemmer actually came to Milwaukee last year for Defy the Night. So I actually got all my books by her signed already. And most of them personalized. So the only one that I wouldn't have personalized is the one that is dropping later this month. So I pre-ordered that one for the con to get personalized along with the other ones, which helps because then I save space on my luggage. I also there is a con exclusive called Smartasses. If there's a picture of it somewhere, I'll find it. And put it up here, but this is an anthology with a lot of authors who will be at the con with short stories, and like I said, it is a con exclusive, so I ended up getting that one, and I'm really excited about it. I also did My Killer Vacation, which I already talked a little bit about, and then Bookbo did a pre-order campaign for this, which I'm really excited about. Bookbo is a company that makes a lot of the book sleeves that I own, so they have a con exclusive book sleeve and book pillow combo for the con, and I was really excited. Sarah and I actually we got both the book sleeve and the pillow. The book sleeve has the design of like a library card, so you can get it signed by authors at the con, but I actually have a bag that I've had for a couple of years. I actually got it right before COVID because we had just started going to more and more author talks that they were having in the Milwaukee and Chicago area. Since that's closest to us, and I started getting that bag signed by authors. So I'm going to be bringing that bag with me. Let me go grab it. So this is what the bag looks like. It's just a cute little tote bag. I only have 2 signatures on it because, like I said, I literally got it right before COVID. So I have Neil Schusterman and I have Bridget Kemmer, and they both dated it. They're a year and a half apart, so... Because, yeah, 3/12/20 is right before when I got this, when we saw Neil Schusterman, which was, I believe, a week before everything shut down. And then I saw Bridget Kemmer last September. So I will be bringing this and hopefully getting this filled out. And then I'll probably, the book sleeve, what I'll probably end up doing, because I don't think I'll be able to fill all of this out. We'll see though, depending on how everything goes. But we'll do that. I may just, once this is full, I'll probably have the book sleeve be the next thing I have authors sign, or have that one be like my duplicates. Maybe I'll have Bridget Kemmer sign the book sleeve since she's already signed this. Or it might be cool to have her sign both of them and have the 2 different dates. I haven't really decided yet But otherwise, I'm really excited for this con. It's my first time going to a convention. We got into BookTube in 2019, so we were originally going to start going to cons in 2020, but with COVID-19, it was really hard to go to things, as everyone knows. So Sarah and I are really excited. It'll be a really fun weekend. Yeah, if you're going to the con, let us know down below. We'll probably be, we're in a bunch of Discords through Book Talk and Instagram. So we'll probably be doing a bunch of meetups that way. We really only got the deity tickets, I think is what they're called, which means that we will only be able to join for the Saturday events, which is fine. We're really excited, but we will be there from Thursday to Sunday. Just probably exploring DC. I know I haven't been to DC since my 8th grade field trip, so I'm really excited to go and to get all of these books signed and to meet these authors. These are some of my recently favorited authors, so I'm really excited, and I know it'll be a great time. We'll definitely film when the time comes. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, with the occasional Sunday, and I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!